Do you need anything? Did you get it? Bam, we're live. Did you get a drink or you got your coffee
Yeah,
or your iced tea?
I got my tea going. Yep.
Dang, you're set. Good morning. Good to see you.
How are you, man?
Dude, I'm pumped. No matter what, I keep thinking like I need more sleep, but then I go to bed earlier, but I'm getting worse sleep. Like the longer I'm in bed, the more I toss and turn. I'm like an old dude now.
You
I
wake up
remember
tired?
one time like 15 years ago, you said some joke to me about like, hey, old people always talk about this and this. I can't remember what they were. Maybe it was like the weather and like how they sleep. And I think those are the two conversations I had with my wife this morning. I'm like, oh, it's raining again. Damn, my back's tweaked from last night's sleep. I'm like, fuck. And I hear the echo of your voice being like, oh, shit. That is what old people talk about. Hey, we're having a straight legit winter in California. A second one in a row. Kind of cool, right?
This is the winter.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's rain. It's better than no rain, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we have rain. It's cool. It's fun.
The gnarly, unseasonal kind of rain that they got in Southern California came from down south.
When was that? Just like a few months ago, or
No, like a month ago. The gnarly raining in Southern California and San Luis Obispo, Central Coast.
what month are we in right now? Oh, December.
January.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh,
January.
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 January. And when
Yep.
is our normally our rainy month is February?
Yeah, I think
Would you
so.
say?
I don't know. I'm not old enough to be a weather expert.
Good. I like that. Plead the
But I moved to Santa Cruz in January 25th of 1995, and it rained 2 days out of three all the way into June.
I
I
remember that
just
year.
it was rough.
And then last year, besides that year, was our rainiest year of fucking alt like that I ever remember. Besides that, last year was, I mean, it rained for like 2 months straight. It was great though. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, especially, I mean, maybe not you as much as me. Well, I wonder. I every time it rains, I just imagine my well filling. Even though
Yeah,
I don't know if it works like that, but that's just where I go. I just imagine my well filling, and I just love that.
yeah. I was thinking the groundwater as well.
And you have two wells, right? You have an ag well and a,
I
and, and
do.
a regular well. Yeah, you're stoked.
Yep.
And your ag well ended up being cleaner than your house water well.
They're both really good.
Do
What's
you
the
know how?
difference between the two?
I forget.
I don't, because I wish I had an ag well. I think what happened is Greg has enough fruit trees, food producing trees on the property where you can apply for an ag well.
Oh,
But I don't think they're actually dug different. But I think then they dug his ag well, and then I think they told him, "Hey, dude, your water from your ag well might even be cleaner than your house water."
wow,
He
that's
lives in
pretty
a
cool.
good spot. No one's upstream from you. You live in a great fuck. You live in a great spot.
Yeah, there's less concerns about the water. I'm trying to talk like a plumber, but there's less concerns about the where all the water goes. In the ag well, from the holding tank, it only goes to sprinklers, and so you don't run the chance of contaminating anything.
So it's not like
You don't
running
need
through
all
pipes
the
in the house or anything like that. Like it's just
right,
straight to the ground. Cool.
right.
What is this? Oh, whoa, that didn't take long at all. Hold on a second. I don't even know if I have the phone set up yet. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Wow, that was fast. I did something stupid this morning. I carried one of my kids. I should never do that, like, until I've been awake for like a couple hours. I moved Avi from his bed. He asked me if I'd carry him. Fuck my back up already. More old
Have
person
Haley
people
bring him
talk.
over here and
I
play with
should do,
Brett.
I should do that. Is he awake?
Yeah.
Caller, hi. Are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, what's up? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Frank. I'm an affiliate owner from Monterey, California, and we've spoken in the past regarding the CrossFit affiliate network, and just hoping to chat with Greg and get some feedback.
Dang, just straight into it this morning. Awesome. Are you at the gym now,
I
Frank?
Hi, good morning, Greg. Yeah, I am. Normally I have a client this time, but he called in a little under the weather today, so I was lucky that it happened today just because I wanted to call in.
Okay, before you ask your question, let me do some old person talk with you. How's your back?
I had a strain, but I've actually been doing an inversion table, and it's been fantastic.
I bought one of those, had to throw that away. It hurt me more. And how's the weather? You're close. You're closer to Greg than to me. I'm like, you're 5 miles closer to Greg than to me, but you got rain there too?
Yeah, a little wet.
Yeah.
Pretty
Cool.
normal for this time of year, I think.
Greg was just telling me
Well,
yesterday that it would take 12 minutes for us to get from the Santa Cruz harbor to your harbor there in Monterey, if we on his boat.
Okay. I was going to say driving probably a little longer than that, but not far.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come see you, Frank.
Yeah, I'd love that.
We've met before, haven't we?
We've been in the same space, but I don't know if we ever got introduced. I was at the Broken Science Initiative event that was this past summer in Romas, and really enjoyed it. And actually, that's kind of relevant to the bigger conversation, or what I was calling in about, because that's kind of where the CrossFit Affiliate Network or collective, and really I should say, well, anyway, that's where the conversation somewhat started with some other affiliate owners there at that event.
The one at the
Gotcha.
ranch.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. And that's you started that? You started that Instagram account?
I did. That's correct.
And why did you start it?
Well, so I think the story largely goes with when Greg sold the company, and I had the thought to myself of what a damn shame that we didn't, as affiliate owners, we weren't organized enough to collectively get together and buy it. And really affiliate owners should be the ones, I think, who own it. And then when we were at the ranch, I was discussing, like I said, with some other affiliate owners, and kind of mentioned that same thing. Like, we're kind of commiserating about some of the decisions that were made by HQ prior to the sale, and that we were concerned about how things were being run, and the role of private equity in those decisions. And again, I brought up, I said, why didn't we get together, and what a damn shame we didn't. And at some point, one of the other affiliate owners posted something saying to the effect of, like, it's time for affiliate owners to organize. And I responded back and I said, hey, yeah, I've been thinking about this since our conversation, and I'm all on board. Let's do it. And I figured that Instagram, while not perfect, was a good platform to start to get a message out and try to rally affiliate owners. And it's been challenging to try to get 10,000 plus affiliate owners on board, but that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And what we do with it, I don't exactly know, but I think one of the solutions may need to be looking at least being prepared to buy CrossFit if the current owners are prepared to sell it at some point.
Just to put something in perspective, I live on a road that I didn't know was a private road, and there's 24 residents on it, and they're trying to put together a group to, like, take care of the road. And the lady who's in charge of it, like, can't get any cooperation from people like me. Like, I don't want to go to meetings. I don't want to respond to emails. I just want someone to tell me how much I have to pay and leave me alone. Like, I got my own life. I'm doing my own shit. And so 10,000 sounds crazy ambitious to me. You know what I mean? Just because I think that there's probably 8,000 gyms that just don't even want to, like, read the paperwork, think about it, talk about it. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I'm not poo-pooing on your idea at all. I'm just thinking just strictly from a practical point of view. Like, holy shit. Like, that's, I mean, the 1,200, those 1,200 followers you have, you think they're mostly affiliates?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I think
Okay.
it could be, affiliates, and then, the gym owner follows with their personal account and the gym account. Some may just be, I've had, one guy who, he was just a CrossFitter, and he wanted, his brother, I think, was an affiliate owner. And he said, I want to be involved. I want to help out. Let me know what I want to do, or what I can do to help. So,
and the reason why you want so many is then that would reduce the cost of the gym. Or do you like think of this group as being ready, all 10,000 of them being poised, so that if the company ever goes for sale, they're ready to buy it? Or do you see it more as they make an offer on the company, or either?
Yeah, I think both. I mean, I think, one of the other things that I kind of really like in terms of the idea is the Green Bay Packers is a professional football team, and they were in a small town and didn't really have the funding to compete with big cities. And so a bunch of guys got together and made it a publicly owned company and sold shares to fund the company, to fund the Green Bay Packers. And so I think there's, lots of different ways to do the funding, but I think ultimately, yeah, there needs to be some amount of affiliate owners on board. It may be that the private equity kind of comes to the realization that they don't know how to make it profitable. I guess I would suggest that in my opinion, the fee increase was a kind of result of that. We don't know how to make it profitable other than to increase fees. And if everybody just pays it, I think it's just going to happen again. I think they're going to increase their fees again. And they're just going to keep doing that because I don't know if they have a good understanding of how to do this as a for-profit model. And I think Greg has kind of mentioned, running it as a for-profit business is, can be challenging and certainly create some conflicts of interest, I think.
So at the end of the day, the net gain is get this group together. They can spend the money more efficiently and more effectively than the current owners, because I guess that would be the big picture, correct?
Yeah, I think affiliate owners know what affiliates need, and I think Greg did a great job of articulating what he thought the kind of 4 points were that headquarters should be doing. I guess as an affiliate owner, I have some ideas of what I'd like to see in addition to that. But ultimately, I think it should be in the hands of affiliate owners how our fees are spent, and affiliate owners know best how to do that.
Eaton Beaver, good morning.
But you're right.
Sorry, go ahead.
But you're right. I think plenty of affiliate owners just are busy enough running their business. They don't want to be involved. But I think at some point, if you're not involved, you're going to, the powers that be will kind of manipulate that. And so I think you have to be willing to push back, or you're just going to get steamrolled. What happens if affiliate fees go up to 10,000, right? Are you gonna push back at that point?
I saw the other day, by the way, someone sent me the invoice of F45. I don't know what the initial buy-in, but their monthly fee for F45 is $1,500 a month. There's no point to what I'm saying except sharing that information. Someone shared me an invoice from their gym. Cave Dastro, it would be $20,000 per affiliate at 10,000 affiliates to raise $200 million.
Yeah, I think there's a variety of variables here. I think, if you're willing to pay, if we're willing to pay them what they paid for it, and we assume they paid $200 million, great. I've also heard that, the NSCA lawsuit was settled. Again, I don't know. This is a rumor, for $100 million. And where did that money go? It doesn't seem like it went to countering the message or the narrative that was put out by that study. And I still hear regularly when I go out in public that people won't come into my gym and they don't know anything about my gym other than that it's a CrossFit gym. And the first thing I hear is, I can't work out with you. I'm going to get injured. And so what is CrossFit doing to counter that narrative? And I heard Don at the town hall acknowledge that as a problem with the brand, but it's been 4 years since they bought the company, and I haven't seen anything done to counter that narrative. And so why do I assume now? And then you raised the fees by $1,500, and why should I assume that money is going to go to countering that narrative versus, just the profits for the investors?
Frank, have you looked at who's behind the occupational licensure bill that's ramping up for California?
No, this effort alone to organize affiliates is more time than I have. I'm a father and a gym owner, and I think that's, and I guess I would look to say that that's exactly like you say, that's something HQ should be doing and keeping us in the loop on what's going on and preventing it and fighting it. And, I think Dave Castro, on his recent Week in Review suggested that, that they were keeping an eye on it. And I'm skeptical at best.
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing you keep an eye on. it needs to be fought, and someone needs to make the investment and find out who's behind it. And then there'll be some opportunities to speak at public hearings in Sacramento. And we have effectively stopped those before in Massachusetts and elsewhere by bringing articulate affiliate owners and lobbyists and lawyers to the meeting to talk. And my suspicion is that there's nothing like that going on. And in fact, I would even venture to guess that there's been agreement for the mothership not to interfere with this project. I would assume
No
that'd
shit.
be part of the settlement. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the very thing about which they have promised to remain silent. This relates exactly to the settlement.
Boy, that's scary. Hey, just two things I'd like to add in there. On the weekend review yesterday, Dave did acknowledge that the licensure bill is on their radar at HQ. And also, not only did
we put it there, he's still not saying anything.
Who, Dave?
Taylor Swift's on my radar too, but I clearly
Right.
don't give a fuck about it.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
She's a billionaire, Greg.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one more thing too.
They don't care at all, and it's on their radar.
Let me throw this out there too. They not only sold they bought the company, but then they also, like you said, they got money from the NSCA settlement, what we presume, but also they had a second round of fundraising. So they got more investors. I don't know how much it was, 20 million, 30 million, 50 million, 100 million, but they did another round of investing, and they collected a shitload of more money.
I've heard the figure at some point.
Okay.
I guess I'll suggest this is, ultimately what it comes down to, or part of how much it's going to cost per affiliate owner, you've got two kind of major variables, right? One is how many affiliates are willing to go in and buy it, and how much they're willing to sell it for versus what we're willing to pay for it. And I guess this is where maybe I would ask Greg's thoughts. I mean, you had suggested you were in fear of affiliate owners unionizing. What role did that play in you deciding to sell when there was the whole, I guess, pushback, and depending, I have feelings about, that whole situation where I don't know, was affiliate owners pushing back on that Floyd 19 tweet? Was that motivation for you to sell? Were there enough affiliates? I've heard it suggested by, I think it was Dave Castro, that it wasn't that many affiliates and it wouldn't have been relative. But my thought is, if 10,000 of the affiliates express dissatisfaction with how things are being run, as private equity, I would think, I'm in trouble. I better cash out and get whatever back I can on my investment I can. Now, if 500 affiliate owners come and say, hey, we're not happy, they're going to say, yeah, we figured some amount would not be happy, and that we're willing to take that hit. How many affiliates would it take before private equity says, like, yeah, we need to sell this thing quickly?
I don't know that it would force a sale, but I think you could, maybe even more importantly and better, force them to listen. I think 1,000 affiliates could do that. But see, I would also, we're already past the point where, for me, the cost has exceeded the potential value in the affiliate proposition. And so, like, I think $10,000 affiliate fees is absurd. I don't see any possible way to recoup that in what I'm getting from the mothership. But again, I got cornered here. I mean, for me, I had to come to terms with my own value system, and what is it that would keep me in the affiliation? And it would be those things that you could do for me that I couldn't do for myself. And it would look like the continuing ed, validation, litigation, and legislation in those spaces. And there's even an attitude of fighting in that, a strength in that I find super compelling. And that's evaporated. It's evaporated. There's no one
at the point that you have
standing up for the affiliates. So I'm not sure what it's worth anymore.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. At the point you have 1,000, you could just change the name, right, Frank? You could
Right,
just get. You
right.
could just be like, yeah. At that point, you don't have to buy anything, right? That's another thing I was thinking.
Frankenfit.
Yeah, so that's, I mean,
I join.
yeah, or I think a lot of people are cheerleading around, Glassman fit, maybe once the non-compete ends. But I don't know if 1,000 people, and I think the problem is a lot of gym owners still correlate the brand CrossFit, regardless of what's happening on the back end. There's still public perception that the CrossFit brand, it is, right? The brand is associated with the methodology. I love the methodology. I love the community. And largely, like, what happens at HQ and fighting over licensure and NSCA lawsuit, like, most people in the public don't know that, and they don't base their decision to come in or not come into a CrossFit gym based on those high level things. I guess for me, and I think for some gym owners, I don't know how many, it is a principled thing. It is, what are my fees going towards? Are they going towards, the mission of health and fitness and solving the world's most vexing problem? And I think at some point, HQ could be eroding the brand by, getting sponsorships from Monster Energy. And so, at what point does that continue to be the case if HQ isn't doing things to promote the brand in a positive way?
Frank, this bill is going to
Yeah,
pass. This bill in California is going to pass, and it's going to mandate a certification that you don't have. It's going to pass.
Yeah,
it's going to require a certification that you don't have. It's not going to recognize yours, and there's going to be some. And I would organize maybe around fighting that alone, and I would help with that. If you guys get,
I think most affiliate owners would struggle, I think, to leave the brand, and maybe they don't have to leave CrossFit. They can still fight for the licensure thing. For me, it's all of those things, and not a single one. I think, most gym owners are they want the brand CrossFit because of the association with the methodology and the community that they love. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe 1,000 is a lot, I think, but I don't have the reputation of, where people are going to get rally behind FrankFit. I think, I get messages from a lot of people, and I see a lot of posts saying, hey, if Greg started something once the non-compete ends, I would be all in. I'm just one gym owner, and I don't think people would rally behind that. I think there was even some movements when Greg was looking to sell, or whatever that happened there, around, hey, let's rally around community fitness. Let's rally around Mayhem. A couple of different businesses said, programming gyms said, let me, let's make a, Mayhem affiliates and things like that. And it just, I don't think it took off because there wasn't that same community or public perception of the brand as with CrossFit.
In that State of the Industry report that Cooper put out, it was like 80. I know it was like 9 months ago, but like 87% of the CrossFit gyms were happy. That's another.
But there was also.
Go ahead.
There was also the write-in of, right?
Yeah.
What was that write-in where they wrote in Glassman, right?
That was a big percentage too. Right. That was weird. You're right. You're right. I mean, clearly Greg's gonna have a special.
Happy, but
clearly Greg's gonna have a special place in for all these people.
Hey, Frank, sometime in the next month or two, let's meet for lunch in Watsonville. Take care of my favorite taco place.
Yeah, I'd love that.
I don't have easy answers for you, sir. But I can tell you, having fought on the occupational licensure front, when the NSCA suit was settled with the promise of the strictest of confidentiality, Jeff Kane sent me a little missive to where he claimed that the CrossFit chain would be illegal in 3 to 5 years now. And holy cow, I mean, he called that exactly. That's exactly where this is headed. and I see an emergency there. My response to this before, we had Russ Green, Russ Berger, Emily Kaplan, and Brett, the lobbyist that we purchased from Podesta, plus the clout of the entire Podesta organization, and a bevy of attorneys that you could fill a dance floor with. And so it at millions of dollars in expense in 4 or 5 years, we dodged a bullet and got like occupational licensure rescinded in the District of Columbia in DC, in the nation's capital. And that was a all hands on deck major effort and millions of dollars spent, including litigation. And it was a close call. And you could even say in the end, we lost because of where we're at now, because of the settlement. So for me, we're an affiliate, but look at my perspective. It's so different. I stood up there in front of everyone, telling everyone for a decade that I'm using your fees to fight for you. And the fight's back and there's no one fighting for you. And they're raising your fees. They need to announce quickly that they've hired a powerful lobbying organization to fight this thing. Sevan, we should talk to Bill in Monterey, our elected official.
Have I met him
me on the soda battle? Yeah, we went out and talked to him.
What was his last name?
I got this Monin.
Was that the same time you met Rand Paul out there? That same meeting, or no? Separate. I'm confused and getting my wires crossed.
Yeah. Bill Monning. I have
Bill
contact info for him. He's a neat guy. He's politics makes for strange bedfellows. He and I would agree on nothing except the scourge of diabetes and the role that soda's played in this. His wife is an endocrinologist, but he is our elected official here for Santa Cruz, and we supported him handsomely, effectively on his soda bill, even though it eventually got stopped by the guy down in that 42nd district. But then we rallied the troops and got him thrown out of office, which was kind of cool because he was Bill's guy, but he also defeated Bill's bill, the soda bill. You're not going to be able to find a successful, large, thriving fitness chain willing to tell the truth about salient lifestyle choices that matter, that's going to be able to work in a political vacuum. You're going to have to fight. And it looks as though that was sold. It would be horribly disappointing to me, but I got this weird bias. That's what I thought was worth doing. Now it's not, and so it sits weird with me. And it may not matter. I mean, I don't, move out of California, I guess, if they make it illegal to train, or get that other certification.
Frank, thank you. Lunch soon.
Yeah, let's get together, Frank. Let's sit and have some candid talks.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Sevan.
All right, have a good day, brother.
What's the good Mexican? What's the Mexican food place that's always busy in Moss Landing?
Oh,
right on the highway. Anyways, I wanted to try it. I'll come up with it. Thanks, Frank. Happy New Year, buddy.
Sounds great. All right. Thanks, Greg. You too. Appreciate all you do.
Later, brother. Hey, is it called the whole enchilada?
Yes.
I think Dave's taking me there.
Yeah, Dave says it's pretty good.
Man, I asked that this lady I had on yesterday, the former president of Levi Strauss. I was asking her, she moved to Colorado, and I'm like, hey, so would you ever move back to California? And she goes, she would never live anywhere where Gavin Newsom was in charge. Man, she hated Newsom. And I don't blame her. I dislike him incredibly. And at one point I said, hey, do you think he knows he's a bad person? And she said, no. Does anyone know? And I've been struggling with that, like, for the last 24 hours, thinking, wow, does it, like, really? He could not know that you don't think he knows he's a bad person?
They just think everything they're doing is right.
Name someone universally known to be pretty.
What was
Jennifer
the-
Aniston.
Yeah, yep, I'll
Okay,
go with her.
She if she could spew the hive's line, the liberal line, if she could get in line with the talking points
Yeah,
and ran for office, she would get the vote of every Democrat.
yep.
Yeah, pretty, like there would be no AOC were she not gorgeous.
Oh, well, what about the guy who had the stroke? Who beat the
Fetterman?
Fetterman? Yeah,
I like him.
but he's not pretty.
No, but he's got something that's kind of cool. I mean, he shows up in a fucking dirty hoodie, you know?
And sweatpants.
I do not like him.
Yeah, I do. And I
Okay.
like some of the things he said recently.
Recently, yeah, he did kind of flip the
Were
script.
they whole sentences or?
Dude, he's had a stroke. Give him a break.
No. I'm not
He's less impaired than Biden.
That's
Hey,
true.
You got a
less
point.
impaired than Pelosi. He's less impaired than
Feinstein.
Feinstein. And I'm going to say he's less impaired than Newsom. Newsom can't put an intelligent thought together to save his fucking life. He says nothing. He stands there. He keeps his lips flapping, and he's pretty. He's got nice hair. He was in the horrible debate between he and DeSantis.
Oh, geez, that was
DeSantis was saying things about him where his approach of giggling, his response of giggling and smiling was wildly inappropriate.
Newsom's.
If someone's calling you a pedophile, don't giggle.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
It's
Nervous
the wrong,
laughter.
That's the wrong. He didn't even know what the guy was saying about him. He couldn't even take it in. He had no response. So it works in California. Smile, play with your hair, say something, act cute.
Push it around a little bit.
Oh, it's amazing how vacuous he is. He and Kamala are profoundly stupid.
I didn't believe that people would just say whatever it took to get elected. I thought that was crazy until I'm embarrassed to say until the last year or two. And they used to call, I don't know if they still call it this, but they used to call it flip-flopping. But it's incredible. Biden is not even close. Everything that he said 20 years ago, he's now saying the opposite. And another thing, by the way, that I keep hearing, which just is not true. I wish people would keep saying it. People keep saying Biden's too, and you and I have talked about this, Greg. Biden is not too old to run for office. That is not what's going on. It is not his age.
Age isn't an issue at all.
Right.
And that's the red herring. They want to make it about age because age shouldn't be a disqualification. Senility should be at any age. He's clearly senile. And that's a problem. The places where he is unable to act in the world, how much of that is due to what people have over him?
Oh yeah, that's a scary thought. That's a very scary thought.
I ran the tepid response to the attacks on our troops in the Middle East leads me to think that the Iranians have been given China's file on Joe.
And that he knows that? God, that's a horrible thought.
I think they would tell him. I think they'd tell him, hey, let me listen to some of this. We're going to release it. What do you think? You think they don't have audio tape of him taking the money that he was given? Of course they do. You don't give out money without proving you gave it. That's the whole purpose of the bribe is it's a hedge of the bet. They're saying this fucker's been running for president since 1974. Let's throw a little his way. And who knows? Maybe someday he'll make it. Well, he did. He's there.
I wonder what the threshold is, the American people's threshold is in finding out that he's on the take.
The Dems don't give a fuck.
I
They say
know.
nobody cares.
Yep, nobody
That's
cares.
right.
Just like they don't
Right.
care
They're-
about like Epstein files or anybody associated with it,
Yeah.
anything. They don't care.
Or occupational licensure for the mothership. It's on their radar.
Oh, we're aware. Not gonna
Yeah,
do
we're
anything about
watching it.
Newsom
That's what
extends
you gotta
free.
say when you
Go ahead. Go
when
ahead.
you're doing something about nothing when something needs to be done. You just claim you're watching, right?
Right.
We got all eyes are on it. Believe me, we're gonna do like what Obama did. He was always gonna make sure. We're gonna make sure, and then just load it with platitudes. I think I told you the other day. My dad counted 65 make sures in an 80-minute speech once.
From
Now,
Obama.
once
From
he's
Obama.
explained it from Obama, he's gonna make sure. And everybody cheered loudly with each make sure. Oh my God, he's going to make sure. And there's all these good things. He's going to make sure. None of it happened.
This is from the Gazette, January 1st, 2024. Newsom extends free health care to 700,000 illegal immigrants despite record budget deficit. California became the first state on Monday to offer comprehensive health insurance to all undocumented immigrants. So that means people who've run over the border illegally. So now people can come into your house and eat your food out of your refrigerator. That's
You know who I'd have
it's
play him in
tantamount
a
to that,
movie?
right? What? Say
And
it
you have to
again.
pay
You know who
them.
I'd- Hey, you know who should play him in a movie?
Who?
Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Wow.
think he
Wow.
could.
Yes.
Wow.
I think he could pull that off and give it just enough camp to make everyone laugh.
Gruesome Newsom. A plan expected to expand to roughly 700,000 residents living in the Golden State. It really is. We have these facilities so that if you're at the skate park, you get injured, you can go there, and we pay into them. And now other people who don't pay into them, who illegally come in, can use them. I don't get this at all. It goes on to say the expansion is expected to cost the state roughly $1.2 billion for the first 6 months before increasing to $3.1 billion per year. It will include undocumented illegals between the age of 26 and 49.
You know what's up?
No, tell me.
He wants their vote, dude. That's all it is.
But they can't vote.
Oh, yeah, they will. They will vote. And in large numbers.
You think they'll actually vote for him though? Because
I
I read
do.
somewhere isn't that
Not-
most
not-
immigrants don't vote for Democrats anyway?
Yeah, I think it takes a generation or two. I think that's what's happened to the Dems. I think that the illegal population in numbers too large for their tolerance have found successful business employment, and you know, if your dad came over this country illegally, or you did, and you now have a landscaping concern with 40 trucks and 65 full-time employees, the Dems have lost you. There's no way that Mr. Garcia is going to participate in your shit anymore.
Josh
Not gonna do it.
Thoreau, they get to pick your food illegally, but you don't have a problem eating it. Hey, listen, dude, they're getting paid. They're coming when they come here and do that. You're comparing apples to oranges. You're comparing apples to oranges. And actually, ICE does go to those places and arrest the illegal aliens, or they used to. And hey, what about that being the dog whistle to call all of them over here? It's almost like he's saying, "Hey, it's like he's in."
Josh has a good point, and it looks like this, Sevi. We're sitting there on 8 or 95 in California, Arizona, and we're stopped at an immigration checkpoint, and they're asking every blue-eyed, blonde-haired, freckled person if they're citizens of the United States, one at a time. And then all of a sudden, there's panic in one of the lanes, and they're pulling cones and ushering the flow of white ag buses past, full of illegal aliens going to pick vegetables.
Right.
If we got rid of the illegal aliens in this country, we would starve to death. I'm going to say that again. If we got rid of the illegal aliens, we would starve to death. California wouldn't be able to keep its farms running, and the nation would starve. We can't live without them.
Maybe there is some
isn't an open border.
The solution isn't an open border.
No,
Right.
No.
Yes. Okay.
I would do the same thing. I'd let the ag workers in and not the others.
302,000 migrants were encountered at the southern border last month. Those are encounters. You have to assume it's double that weren't encountered, right? 302,000.
They'll come grateful Democrats, and within 2 generations, a third of them will that find success will have different views. No one that works hard has interest in having shit taken from them and given to people that refuse to work. Right?
Yeah, I'm with you. It's wild. I don't understand. And going back to the thing, does he think that he's being a good person for doing this? Does he not know
No,
he's
he's
being a
buying
bad
votes.
person?
He's buying
Yeah.
votes. He's making more Democrats. Epoch Times 5 years ago, when Obama was president, so longer, early in their launch, explained the whole border crisis is about the bluing of Arizona, Florida, and Texas. This is why Abbott's punting, sending them north to areas that are already deeply blue. And the what's riotous about that, it's funny as hell, is that it does Eric Adams and whoever's mayor of Chicago now, it does them no good for these people to come to their city because they don't need more Democrats.
Graciano Rubio, Greg, we used to do that. It was called the Bracero Program. August
Yes,
1943, the Bracero Program was an agreement between the U.S. and Mexican government that permitted Mexican citizens to take temporary agricultural work in the United States. Christine Young says, bullshit. There are tons of people here working legally. I've been here 45 years, and there's lots of working here legally. I also think that's what Greg finished it with at the end, Christine, when he said open border isn't the way. Sleeky, these new illegals aren't working.
She thought I said I think she thought I said something that wasn't said.
I thought you were saying that too at first. Sleeky, new illegals aren't working. They're crossing the border multiple times to get their Visa gift cards and free shit. Oh, that makes me sick. If that's happening.
They're gonna get work. They're gonna take jobs too that other people don't want.
Jody Lynn, plenty of hardworking, undocumented workers in Connecticut. Great workers, for sure.
Of course. It's no one's doubted that.
Yeah. Switching subjects.
What I don't want is I don't want them paid to vote blue. That's what I don't want, and that is what's happening.
Right. Hey, come to our country, vote Democrat. We'll give you free health care, a phone, $1,200 a month, and just vote for Newsom. I was thinking about the lady at Harvard, Claudine Gay. I was thinking about how, she got fired. They say she resigned, but she didn't. She got fired. Well, she didn't even get fired. She still works for Harvard. She still gets paid. She's still on the payroll. She just got moved. Same with the lady at Penn. They both just got moved. Yeah, that's misleading to say she resigned. First of all, she just got moved. 50 legitimate allegations of plagiarism and and not being able to stand up against people on campus calling for the killing and extermination of Jews was kind of her downfall. But you know what I realized? Democrats will rally around people because of the color of their skin, regardless of what they say. And Republicans won't do that. They won't. Isn't that interesting? Republicans will not rally around someone because of the color of their skin, but Democrats will. So Democrats don't care what Claudine Gay said. They're rallying around her because of her genitalia, because she's a woman, and the color of her skin. Republicans don't do that. They don't do that. It's like when I was thinking about that yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, they are just straight up racist. and yet they screamed loudest saying other people are racist. But they don't care. They don't care what her stance is on anything. All they care about, like Al Sharpton saying that it's a setback for black women. It's a setback for black women, not because she lost her, not because of anything the right or the left did. It's what she did. She gave us a new data point for fucking behavior that some people are going to conflate with the color of her skin and her genitalia. Yeah, it's so fucked up.
There's no racial component to this story.
Right.
She's an academic fraud, and she's tolerant of behaviors that polite society isn't tolerant of. And her job as an administrator, she's in dereliction of her duty by her own academic dishonesty and her inability to maintain a healthy environment on the campus. It's not even a political issue. I don't think you should be able to get, again, you shouldn't be able to get up on a platform at a university and speak with a bullhorn without a permit.
Heidi Kroom, wrong, Sevi. They do care. They hate conservative people of color. That's true. Caller, 1 second. Andrew Sten, I love that CNN called the issue sloppy attributions rather than plagiarism. Caller, hi.
Hey, what's going on? Mind if I talk fitness for a minute? Do you?
Talk
the wrong time.
Talk what? Bitcoin? No, I love Bitcoin. I know nothing about it. What did you say?
What that is?
Oh, what did you?
Fitness. I have a
yeah, please.
question for Greg, if he doesn't mind.
No.
Is there such thing? Is it possible to do too much zone 2 training? I have a marathon coming up that I'm doing in April, and I have found when I do regular zone 2 to be super beneficial over anything else, whether running or whatever. Is there a point where it's just too much?
I don't know, but you are going to need to take your fat blocks and double, triple, or quadruple them. And so we use that as the control rod for more rigorous or endurance extended efforts. So if you were normally 4 blocks, you might be eating 4, 4, and 12.
I'm not gonna lie, that went over my head.
In regards to the zone diet, if you're looking at like from the L1.
I apologize. I'm talking in regards to aerobic capacity. My apologies. Training zone 2 heart.
Gotcha.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, caller. Hold on 1 second. I got that popping is just. It'd be great if I could just get a roadcaster that works. Are you back, caller? He should come back in a second.
Yeah, I mean the problems with excessive cardiovascular metabolic conditioning training are pretty obvious. You can kind of see them in the 1,500 meter individual and versus 800, 4, and 2.
What the fuck is zone 2 training? It's just a heart rate. It's denoted by a heart rate.
Yeah,
so it's like running at a pace where you can still like have a conversation. So like for me, it's between like 140, 150 range.
Staying in zone 2 means you're exercising at the point of maximal fat oxidation, therefore improving your body's ability to use fat as a fuel, which will improve their ability to go longer, use energy sources more effectively, have a lower recovery demand.
I think there's an arithmetic error here. That maximum fat burning is a percentage. And so the percent is greater. And with more intense exercise, I think the percent of calories burned from fat is less, but the total number of calories is much greater. But I think that the modern trend has been to in the sense of David Salo and what's the CrossFit Chris Hensworth?
Henshaw.
It's higher intensity work and less of that other stuff.
20 to 60 minute jogger cycle at talking pace. When I think of trying to train clients in zone 2, I'm ensuring they can hold a conversation with me. An example would be a 30-minute AMRAP workout, 200-meter row, and 20 body weight lunges. What was the question again? Sorry, what was the question? Whenever I hear zone 2, I just tune out. I go to zone 10.
Right. Yeah. So the question was, is there such thing as too much? Like if I did, every day I did 30 minutes of zone 2 and then did training runs on top of it, or did 2 30-minute zone 2 runs, or, if I did 7 hours of zone 2 a week or whatever it is, does he know of an optimal number, or is there such thing as too much? Or, you know what I mean? Like,
I train a lot in zone 2, and I think it's mental illness training. I think people who train in zone 2, what do I know? But I just think I just train in that for my own mental health. You know what I mean? That's like I get on the assault bike and ride it for 20 minutes while I fucking prep for a podcast. I think zone 2 training is like almost the antithesis of CrossFit. Probably going to get slapped around for that, but it's I don't know.
Yeah.
all right. Well, I will.
Look, my focus, I look at 800 meters in the run and 1,000 meters in the row. And I like those 800-meter guys. They're fast and they have crazy endurance. Will they keep up with the miler? Nope. Will they keep up with the 100-meter guy? No. But they have broader capacity than the sprinter does or the long distance guy.
I train harder in zone 2 when I'm going through an airport. You know what I mean? When I'm carrying my bags, I try to move so fast that I can't even talk.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, Greg. I just want to let.
No, thank you.
Go ahead.
Caller David Weed says. David Weed's chimed in. He says zone 2 training is gay. I'm just giving you some.
I guess that's where you and I relate then, huh, Sevy?
Dude, I zone 2 the fucking hours a day, dude.
I just zone 2'd for a half hour. About to go zone 2 again. I'll just finish. I just want to finish with one thing, Greg. I found CrossFit from ESPN while I was in prison. I was in a max unit watching it from someone else's TV. I watched Ben Smith win, and then I got a Men's Health that told me how to do Cindy, and I did Men's Health CrossFit workouts for the next 2-3 years. Got out, joined an affiliate, and it's been one of the biggest impacts of my life. And so always thank you, but just another thank you.
It's Sean. Is that your name?
But where.
What's your name? Caller name.
Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. For some reason you got disconnected. Hold on. I don't know what the fuck happened. Hold on.
I like that's a great story.
Yeah, I want to know what his crime is. Hold on. Don't go anywhere, caller. Maximum security. Hello? You're back.
Are you looking me up?
No, not at all. You just got the Bluetooth dropped. I'm not a very sophisticated operation here. Greg was asking what your name is.
My name's Thaddeus.
Oh wow, that's
Thaddeus,
a cool name.
how are you, man? I'm impressed with your story. It kind of makes my day. I've always maintained that you can't really be a trainer without believing in redemption.
Yeah, the affiliate I go to, the owners are firefighters, a lot of policemen coach there, and that has kind of healed me back into society. I did about 5 years for gun crimes, and so you get a twisted view of society. But that atmosphere was huge.
Gun crimes, were you selling guns or using guns?
Stole guns and then rob people with those guns. And yeah, I always tell people my best ideas in life got me 5 to 10. I'm not very bright.
Hey, are you sober?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got addicted to opiates because of I don't mean to blame someone else, but my girlfriend got me into them, and 6 months later I went to prison, and haven't touched them since probably about 10 years ago. So
hey, what do you do? What are you doing with that experience? Are you talking to kids? Are you writing a movie? Are you writing a book? Are you working at volunteering? That's a great experience. You should be turning it into something.
So my wife and I were both full-time volunteer Bible instructors, and we also do volunteer construction projects. We both dedicate about 600 hours a year to volunteering. We run a small business, keep life simple. Yeah. So,
Did she do time? Did your wife do time?
No. I wanted someone who was on the edge of being kind of perfect, someone that I could look up to and that was like unblemished by the things that I got into. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear
really
you.
don't mean to make all
You
this
didn't want to go
about me,
Bonnie. You didn't want to go Bonnie and Clyde.
So, but
Hey.
you know what? I did what I should have done. You know what I mean? I think it sounds cool, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Holding people, robbing people.
No, the recovery.
No, what I mean, like, yeah.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's just what you're supposed to do. I'm just doing what everyone else is doing, and I'm just catching up.
Right.
So I just don't view it as that big of a deal.
So you can't vote?
Oh boy. I'm politically neutral.
But can you vote? Are you allowed to vote?
Yeah. I'm allowed to vote. Felons are allowed to vote. But
I think you should write.
Well, you know what? I'm proud of you. And would you and your wife be interested in being put in contact with the group in Pennsylvania that has received funding for putting CrossFit gyms in their prisons?
I would love to. I would love to.
We'll make that happen.
An email, I'll email that person today.
Emily at brokenscience.org.
All right, 1 second.
What does this mean? He's a 2A kind of guy. What's 2A mean?
Second Amendment.
Oh. That's good. Someone wrote, it sounds like Thaddeus has never bought a gun.
I've never had a gun that had a serial number on it.
Nice. Sticking it to the man.
Oh my God.
Abolish the ATF. That's right.
All right, that wasn't funny. Emily at Broken Science.
Brokenscience.org.
All right, Emily at brokenscience.org. All right, that'll be awesome. Thank you.
Copy me at GM321Go. Greg at.
Oh, hold on. I just got out of that. GM, you said?
Yeah, Greg at GM321Go.com.
Greg, is that 2 G's or 1 G? Sorry.
1 G at the beginning, 1 at the end. GREG.
Greg at GRM.
No, GM, like General Motors. 321Go.com. You got it.
321Go.com.
Greg at GM321Go.com.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and it's cool to hear that you saying being proud of me. That means a lot. I mean, yeah.
Dude,
thank you.
It's crazy what you come from.
Well, I appreciate that, but like I said, I'm just trying to do what everyone else is supposed to be doing, right? So, but all right, I'll send this. I'll send you guys an email as soon as I'm home.
Chris Rock says you shouldn't get a cookie for feeding your kids. Right? It's just basic
feeding
stuff.
Your kid. Exactly.
I understand. Still proud of you. It doesn't take from it. And here's the thing. So few people return from where you've been, sir. And I don't know if the number is 20% or 40, but it's not enough.
How long have you been out?
Figured it out.
I've been out since 2017.
Oh, okay, that's
end
good.
of 2017. So I've hit 6 years. But you know what? I think this is one thing I have. I'm a little bit different than the guys that I was in prison with. Is that
you're white? Sorry.
Yes. But I believe drug addiction is a mental health issue and not a morality issue. And so I don't think I'm a natural drug addict. And so getting over it and getting away from it was easier for my mentally. But those who are chemically dependent on opioids or whatever it is, I think there's a mental health issue and a chemical imbalance that those guys are seeking. Does that make sense?
I don't believe you, but yes, I hear you, but I don't believe you.
No, why? Tell me why.
Because I'm not interested. I don't believe in chemical imbalances and stuff like that. I don't. It just sounds like arguing limitations to me. I think everyone's eminently capable.
No, you.
And
I guess
Thaddeus, I
you're right in
I
that
don't have much.
we are capable.
But I am not mad at
don't-
you for having that thought either. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
open to
I
being
don't-
wrong.
I don't want to question the rationale that brought you to recovery.
Mm.
It worked. Good on you. You know, and it's an amazing thing.
I appreciate that, guys. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're a beast,
you-
by the way. Yeah, I don't want to.
you
I'm not belittling it either. Too. The journey's hard. Life's hard. Life's fun, but hard.
Yeah. But
And
it's
don't
good
let your
now.
I don't want you to
Because
your I don't want your experience to go to waste. Is kind of what I was saying too. Like fucking make a movie, right? But I like what you're doing, the volunteering, the Bible stuff, all that. I love it. But do some creative shit too, man. Like you sound like you're a creative guy. To be honest, you have the balls to call here. Put it on the line. Be vulnerable. Write the story. Make a movie. Get rich off your experience.
Maybe when I am working with another guy right now on creating a series and interviewing other people who have used health and fitness to get over adversity.
I like it.
And so maybe when that's ready, I'll send you something, Sevan, see what you think.
All right, cool. Thank you. I'm Sevan at Gmail.
Thank you.
All right, Thaddeus. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
Happy New Year, sir.
Heidi wanted to apologize in advance for all the nudes you're probably going to get in your inbox, Greg. I feel like I can't see it.
She's forgiven.
Okay, there you go.
Just like that. Wow.
Simple,
Yep.
simple and easy. Zone 2. Zone 2. Zone 2 is like I do nose breathing when I work out. It's an excuse to like not work out hard. Oh, I'm breathing through my mouth. Slow down.
I'm practicing my breathing.
I haven't heard that zone training in years.
It's the new hot thing now.
Yeah, it's big
Everybody's
talk
doing
now.
zone 2
Yeah.
training.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Oh,
people just
zone
want to
2.
sit on a fucking concept tube, like ride around for an hour, saying that they got a workout in.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I never hear anyone say I'm doing zone 1 or zone 3 or zone 4. It's all zone 2 training. Caller, hi.
Hey, my name is Josh. I own Backward Arrow Modern Fitness.
Oh, hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, y'all. Hey, Greg. Super thankful for all you've done. You give my family a place to, have some money, income, and good lives. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you.
I think it was last week, Caleb, you and Souza were talking about
Dude, you're the reason why people listen to podcasts at 1.5. Listen, buddy. Listen, Mr. Arrow.
Oh, sorry.
You got to triple your talking speed.
Sorry. Beaver, you and Souza talked about providing classes for coaches last week, like paying for their certifications and things like that.
Yes.
I disagree with that, but I'm wondering what you guys all think about that.
Remind me, I'm not following you. Remind me, what was it?
So last week
This was the podcast where you were slacking.
I'm always slacking.
We were talking about, Susan and I were talking about how we provide the affiliates that I worked for and the affiliate that he owns, obviously, provided some sort of discount, or they gave some sort of incentive to get their coaches to take more classes, like your CEUs, like your L1, L2, weightlifting, strongman, like any of those additional courses, either by CrossFit or by the NSCA or whatever the fuck. I found it very helpful because I was a broke ass college kid and I didn't have any money to my name, and all I was doing was coaching. And I mean, that wasn't a crazy income either. So whenever I had the opportunity to take an extra course, I would take advantage of it. He said, "Oh, there's going to be." I took the first one I took was the L1, and they helped me pay for that. And I mean, obviously, there's tons of other courses that you can take. And he was towards the end of my time working for them, he started offering that. But yeah, I found it very helpful. I mean, I'm not making shit for money, so why not give us the incentive to do it? You know.
Caller, you're saying that the gym owner shouldn't pay for the class, the
I'm not
continued
saying
education?
shouldn't, but I'm saying I don't for my coaches. And the reason why is because they get to keep all that education. So I think that they should pay for that. Now, I definitely want to support them. So I usually pay for like an Airbnb whenever they travel to go take the class and things like that. But I don't directly pay for the education. I'm just wondering you guys' thoughts.
Do you think that they're just going to leave you
saying,
if you teach them things? Do you think that they're just going to leave the gym and go take it somewhere else? Is that what you're worried about?
Well, I've had not so much worried, but I have had coaches do that.
Okay, so if you train them, or if you give them the opportunity to learn whatever they want to learn, they're more likely to stick around and give that to your classes, to all of your athletes, anybody, all of your members, all of those things. But if you don't give them the opportunity to learn new things or give them help them with their coaching venture, then it's like, well, I'm not making enough to stick around, and you're not teaching me anything to stick around. So why would I stick around?
So I agree with what you're saying, but I also want to reimburse them for what they are going to be teaching at that point too. So they'll make more money, but I'm just not going to pay
reimburse
for
them. You're reimbursing them by paying them. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah. So like I've got some coaches that are going to go take their L2, and I'm going to increase the amount that I pay them per class. If I had somebody go pay or take like a weightlifting, I would reimburse them for the program that they're gonna coach that they weren't coaching before. So things like that. I believe in reimbursement. I just don't think that I'm the one that needs to pay for that particular part of it.
Is it your business?
Yes.
Are you charging the client, say, just to put numbers out there, $60 an hour and giving the trainer $25? Is it that kind of model?
Pretty close, yes.
Yeah. Well, for me, that doesn't work. Because here's what's really happening. You're selling $20 an hour training for $60 an hour. There's no one delivering at the 60 mark paying 20 that's going to stay there long. And I learned this from dealing with the collapse of gyms. Hell, that Strength in Christ, that guy Luke and his wife from Arizona, they were so upset about the people that were sick fit. They had a whole list of people that had left them and fucked them and opened up affiliates in the neighborhood. And we dig in and look, and they're paying a guy $15 an hour and charging $60. And he knows what's going on. And at the point that his training's actually worth $30, but you're paying $60, the client's paying $60, he's worth $30 and getting paid $20. All the incentive is for him to go down the street. And it turned out the people they were losing were better than they were. When I went and investigated those that were leaving, they were amazing. Of course they left. They're the ones running the show. They're in there. The owner's not. They're making 20, and the people are being charged 60.
If you're a firefighter and your boss doesn't teach you how to drive the ladder, they're gonna crash it, and then you're losing money. If you're a police officer and you don't teach somebody jiu-jitsu, you don't teach somebody how to fire their weapon properly, you're gonna lose them. If you don't give them the tools if you don't provide them with the information, provide them with the skills or anything that they need to be masterful at their craft, which they're giving to you, they're giving your business, you're going to lose them.
Unless you give them a standy.
Here's what I did with my affiliates. What's a standy?
It's a hand job when you're standing. Hey, are you hating this feedback, Mr. Arrow? Are you like, fuck you guys? My gym's great. I ain't paying for shit.
No,
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
hating it. I
All right.
definitely want to have the conversation.
All right.
No, I don't hate it. And by the way, I'm Josh. But I'm having trouble following it.
Josh, my trainers kept what was it, 80% of what was being paid, and we made public record of the collection and distribution public to all the trainers. The whole thing was logged on Basecamp, so we could all look at each other and see what was being made, earned, and taken. And I set that figure because I don't want my own gym where I'm going to do less than 20%, and you won't keep 80%. If you go down the street and open a box, it's not going to be 80% profit. And so if you are in a collective environment where that's allowed, it was actually pretty cool to have Annie and Tony and Nicole and everyone proximate. We made fantastic use of the space, but I knew no one was going to leave because it would come at a financial hardship to go down the street and fly your own shingle. And so we quickly needed more space on the reg because the training cadre was growing rapidly. We were picking up 2-3 trainers, more 3 to 5 annually coming on board. And so right before I left, part of leaving the community was that the Cons had tried to purchase a larger building for us to use, and the city council blocked it. Didn't want CrossFit. They said he had a Navy and that CrossFit was his army, and so the city council blocked us getting into a bigger building. But I'd run out of space. I had more trainers than I had clients years ago, and I think that's the problem you want to have. There was a economy of scale and multiple trainers that allowed us to continuously, as the gym became more and more impacted, we're spilling out of the parking lot, we're taking more and more space, but we're also getting more and more equipment. And so we're able to do things like keep a stash of dumbbells in the woods, get mountain bikes. It was really cool what the growth allowed us to do. But every time someone leaves you, I get it. It's a loss. It's hard on the business. Set it up, Josh. Set it up so that it makes no sense for them to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm also trying to just grow the personal training side of this. We love classes, but the personal training side, I mean, last year from January 4th to the end of the year, there was a woman that lost 140 pounds with us. Off of all of her meds, completely turned her life around. And that's what I want more of my trainers to be doing as well.
Hell yeah. Josh, I made everyone cut their teeth on personal training. I don't think you can train someone take someone who's done no training and make them a competent group trainer. So if you're after your level 1, next thing you do, you got a class of 15 people. I think someone fucked up.
I remember I started with on-ramps. I just did on-ramps. One person at a time. That's all I did was coach on-ramps.
Yep.
Yeah, we do a lot of on-ramp stuff too.
I kept personal training clients throughout. There was never a time where I was in the gym regularly and didn't have personal clients. I think it was Frank this morning who was talking about his 7 a.m. didn't show. And I was thinking I think I had a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 a.m. for 20 years.
All right, dude. Thank you. Good luck. Keep us posted.
Yeah, have a good day.
If you go out of business, call. If you don't go out of business, call back. Bye.
The professionalization of the training effort suggests what's wrong with finding some kid that you're going to pay $10 an hour and then charge 40 or 50. And again, I want to make the point: if the kid's training is worth what you're paying them, There's not going to be, you're not going to get, and if you do get great training and you're paying the person 10, it's not fair, it's not right, and it's not going to last. He's going to figure out he's delivering $90 an hour training, if indeed it happens.
Cave Dastro, what would Greg charge right now if I wanted him to personally train me?
Oh, it'd be a lot, Cave. Yeah, my price has gotten really, really high here recently.
Like $79.99.
Yeah, like $25,000 an hour, and or free.
Yeah, look at that's $50K an hour or free. Yeah,
30 years of experience.
Hey, I told Sonia Khan, great idea, but you have to understand, honey, I don't do house calls. And she goes, well, I'll double your pay and pay you from portal to portal. And I said, I'll see you tomorrow. What time? I didn't even have a fucking car.
Yeah.
I didn't have a car.
Did you rent one?
Now I'm like, how? Yes. How in the fuck am I going to get up there? I did it. I showed up. And so I was making $150 an hour from leaving the house to when I came home. And I would sit in the garage for 5-6 hours a day on average waiting for that fucker to come downstairs.
I didn't have a
Extremely
car when you
lucrative.
hired me either, by the way.
If you're having trouble making ends meet, the car is the last thing in the world you need. The people with kids and realities, you can't do anything about that. But if you're broke ass, the car doesn't make a lot of sense.
I ended up buying. Greg, are you on a cell phone or something? We lost your camera again.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
How's that?
Greg, what if I was 400 pounds and on the verge of death?
I'd do it free.
Oh, there you go.
I'd try and turn you over to someone else too.
Hey, actually, Cave, he does actually have a client that he does to coach for free. I just remembered that. I just met him the other day in San Diego. I don't know if you're still coaching him, but you were. No, the pool guy, the guy who installs pools around the world. Weren't you coaching him a little bit?
Indeed, I did.
That's right.
Indeed, I did. Forgot about that.
I
was getting in my car and driving 100 miles or bringing the plane down and flying up 100 miles to train a guy for free.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a guy who was on his deathbed.
Everything was wrong, and it looked like soda was potentially the culprit. And the experiment of getting him off of that and seeing if it made a difference in the outcome was more than I could withstand. And of course, you don't want to tell anyone that. What if you stop drinking soda? Maybe your cancer would go away. That's a hard thing to suggest, but it was worth it to me to get him to make an attempt, and it worked breathtakingly well. And
hey, this is an interesting question. Black John Young. I'm gonna read this for you, Greg. Don't try to read this. This will make you stupid. Would Greg ever work with clients who take Ozempic? Like, what do you mean give them First of all, his name's not Craig. And second of all, I wouldn't mean give it to him, like slip it in their fucking shake. Let me work the question for you. What do you think about that, Greg? On the continuum of on one end you have fucking have surgery and have your fucking stomach removed to get skinny versus Ozempic versus CrossFit. Like,
yeah, I'm leery, even afraid of pharmaceutical solutions. So when we're all at Beth Israel at Harvard and we meet the guy who's developing the exercise pill, I think we're watching a future train wreck.
Someone taking a pill that helps them eat. I mean, they're saying that it's like people are like quitting smoking and stop eating. It makes you just not want to put anything in your mouth, I guess.
It sounds good. But so many things do, right?
Right. And then the side effects are just end up being horrible.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna find molecular hacks, pharmaceutical hacks down at the level of these fundamental processes, like the insulin glucagon axis. You really need to control that thing at the pie hole.
Well, that's what this thing so specifically, I think that's what this thing.
I understand that, and that
Okay.
sounds good.
But I think it does do it. Now that I think about it, it does do it by affecting something having to do with your insulin. Here's my thoughts on it. You're 20 years old and you're 400 pounds, and you're 40 years old and you're 440 pounds, and you've just been at war and hated yourself, and you're now 40, and now you're close to dying. Fuck it, try it. As opposed to getting your stomach cut open, and you know what I mean? At some point I say, hey, you got to try it. But like surgery would never be an option for me. I just would not do that. It's like if I, yeah.
If it turned out that the downsides were significant, I would not be surprised.
Oh, meaning like in 3 years we find out everyone who took Ozempic, their teeth are rotting out and they died of cancer early. Like it exacerbated some other issue.
There's some distressing signals coming down the pike in some literature on statin use.
Yeah.
And congestive heart failure. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I did see it. I think you sent it to me last week.
What makes that so pernicious is that there's an underlying assumption of an inevitability of the congestive heart failure, and we're just trying to help you with this anyways. So you're going to hear a lot of it would have been worse without it.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's going to turn out that way.
Dildo, I got shredded on an 8-ball of Tren, Ozempic, and clenbuterol.
That's one way to do it.
Heidi, why the fuck would you ever suggest pharmaceuticals? You're better off fasting for 6 months. That's it, dude. You just said it. That's it. You just said it. No one's. It's not like you're not suggesting it like as a way out from being fat. You're suggesting as a way out of 20 years of fucking misery, as like, hey, maybe you should try it. David Weed, he's saying it because California Peptides is paying his bills. No, I'm not. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. There's this, when I was in my 20s, I binged on Molly for a month, 30 days of MDMA. And in that time, I realized how little I needed to eat to be alive. I remember having that experience like, wow, you don't have to eat. And if someone can figure that out and it changed my whole trajectory in my relationship with food, if someone can do that by taking Ozempic for fucking 6 months and getting off of it and start getting their numbers down, I can't hate them for it. And my suggestion is your first plan of action for a fucking 19-year-old who's fucking drinking a case of beer every day in their dorm room? No. David Weed, buyable. God damn it. That's why you're short. Oh, you think it was the MDMA? No, I disagree. But there's no lifestyle change with pharmaceutical. I disagree. It would have to be in conjunction. I disagree. Or you have to be in conjunction. Nope, I disagree with this too, Chris. You're still stuck with that same weak mind. I don't think so at all. I disagree with you guys.
So is the plan you take Ozempic forever?
I don't know. I mean, I sure as fuck wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that. What do you mean get under my skin? David Weed knows how to get under Sevy's skin like no one else. Dude, he lives in my brain rent free. I told you. Every once in a while I shake my head around just to fucking bounce him off the walls.
Hey, any of you have cats at home? Try this. Take a piece of meat or something if your cat's in the house sleeping, and just waft it around under their nose and then hide it, get rid of it. And from asleep, that will wake the cat up, and the cat will look around, try and figure it out, and then do a couple of reboots, like head shakes, to smell again and shake their head. It's kind of a trip to see. But that's
I'll have to try that later.
self reboot for the cat.
You like that, Caleb?
Yeah, I just like fucking with my
It's cool.
cat.
It's fun. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I started teaching her like dog tricks, like place and shake and like high five and all that shit. It's like you can get them to do whatever you want, really. It's kind of fun.
Dildo, have you ever thrown cheese on a cat's face?
Yeah,
big
so
old
it's also
No, but I
funny.
would shredded Parmesan. I mean, what do you do?
Slice. You take a slice of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just slap it on their face, and they just glitch
I got
out
another
for
one
like
for
30
you.
seconds.
Take it like a saltine cracker, any fucking cracker, and put as much peanut butter on it as you can get, and then call your dog over and plaster that thing on the fucking roof of his mouth
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and run the camera. It's great. It's great. It looks like your dog's dying.
Nice. I got
Another
two
one is,
experiments
have you ever
today.
put-
That'll be fun.
Have you put tape on your cat's feet?
Oh my God! Does it lose its mind?
Just put. They dance like Sammy Davis Jr. It's crazy. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat, all over the floor, just dancing. Amazing tap. Just one little piece of Scotch tape on each foot.
Oh, I can't wait for this. This is gonna be so fun.
I used to do
And how
that to
about the
my dog when he'd
cucumber?
bug me. Stick a big old spoonful of fucking peanut butter under the roof of his
Peanut butter.
mouth.
Cucumber thing is trip. You just set one next to it, and they just lose it. They jump like 6 feet in the air.
Freak out. Freak
It's
out.
the weirdest thing.
With what? Cucumbers?
It's
Just a whole
yeah,
cucumber.
pull it up. It's a whole fucking. There's a million YouTube channels of cats and cucumbers.
Wow.
I showed it to Waddell. He goes, "I'll be right back. I'm going to the store."
What's their deal with cucumbers?
I presume it's a snake thing, but
Oh,
they're not
yeah,
into
true.
the chody snake. Look, no, watch.
Oh my goodness, that's the same reaction my wife has sometimes. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh, that's crazy.
I don't
It's so
like it.
funny.
Caleb, it's got to be snake, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
Or the taste.
It's the only
Maybe
thing
they
I
don't
could
like
think
salad.
of.
Yeah.
Or they don't like salads. Yeah, right. Used to that processed food.
Greg, what are you doing right now? Are you up for breakfast?
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Totally. Isn't
All right.
it cute that my kids wanted to stay?
Yeah, it's awesome. You're stoked.
Maggie went back with 2. Riley spent the night as friends, and Rhett's dying to see you guys.
All right, cool. I'm gonna shut the show down here. And then I will. I'll probably call you like in 3 minutes.
I'm
I want to
around.
go to the. I want to go to Silver Spur. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's been too long.
Okay, I'll call you in like 3 minutes.
All right.
All
Caleb,
right, buddy. Thank you.
Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year,
Come
Greg.
out and see us. All
That
right,
sounds like a great idea.
great. I'd love to have you and Joe out on the Broken Science thing in Scottsdale.
Well,
that'd be awesome.
Fly out.
Westerland?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
For sure. That'd be
Joey's
cool.
been a potent advisor and sounding board for me for a long time.
I think I'll see him next weekend. I think he's coaching my L1, so that'll be cool.
Hug each other for me. Love you both.
Absolutely.
All right, sir. Thanks,
All right,
Evan.
bye,
I'll
Greg.
see you in a little bit.
Okay,
See
bye.
you, Greg.
Behind the scenes, 1B starting any second now. Thank you, everyone. Great show, good times. Sleeky wants to come to Arizona also. I'll make sure I bark that into Greg's ear. See you guys soon. Tonight there is a show. I believe it's at 6 o'clock. It's a just a hangout to talk about a 1B. I've invited Adrian Bosman to come on. He's tentatively agreed. So hopefully we'll get Adrian on tonight too, and because he has a significant role in this 1B. All right, guys. Love you guys. Enjoy the show, and I'll talk to you guys soon.